My intuition called me up, knock, knock. She's like, come on, baby girl. We gotta do something new. We gotta get you outside your comfort zone. Maybe LA isn't the city for me at this chapter of my life. It's just I've changed, I've grown, I've evolved. I need to experience new things. I need to meet new people. I don't know what it is. I'm still young, I'm still single, I have no kids, I have nothing really holding me to anything. F it, like let's just go. Let's just see where life is going to take me. And that location is YouTube family. We need to talk. I hope you guys enjoy my pink beanbag chair, whatever it is that we're gonna be chatting with today. So if you're watching this video, you probably already know that I moved. I have left Los Angeles. I've left my first big girl apartment of 3 years of living with my best friend. A place where I feel super comfortable and nothing was quote unquote wrong, but I felt like something needed to change. So I wanted to give you all the backstory. Why am I even leaving? Why did I decide to move? What am I doing next? How can you take this information and apply it into your own life to hopefully help you with whatever transition or thing that maybe you're too scared to make the final decision on, to really feel the fear and do it anyways. I'm here to help you, so let's just get right into it. I had a big epiphany around New Year's time. So around New Year's, I was in Los Angeles, and I don't know what hit me, but something came over me where I woke up and I was like, holy F. I do not want to wake up in another year from now, next New Year's, next January, in the same place. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in my business, in my dating life. Everything just felt stagnant. And I've been feeling this way for a little bit of time, but I honestly think I had a hard time even admitting it to myself, to be like, hey, maybe I'm actually not happy right now. Maybe I'm actually stagnant. Maybe I'm not feeling my best. Like I almost feel like there was resistance to even admitting that to myself, because when I moved to LA 3 years ago, it was like my dream. I was so happy. I was infatuated with LA. I like couldn't get enough of it. I was so excited to move there, and it felt like that was the end all be all. Like I was like, yeah, I'll just live in LA for my 20s and that'll be that. Okay, coffee break. I need to have a sip of coffee. You know, normally this would be matcha, but I'm at my parents' place in Chicago right now and they don't have matcha, so we gotta get the caffeine where we can get the caffeine. So anyways, I had to come to a tough realization with myself, and this wasn't easy, by the way. Like being honest with yourself can sometimes feel like your world is ending because you are questioning everything that you might have once thought. And I once thought that LA was like my end all be all. Right? And I knew that I had to leave the apartment I was living in. I was living there for almost 3 years and I just felt super stuck, uninspired, not creative in my space. And that's really hard when your job is to literally like be creative and film content and show up. And it was just becoming this thing that was weighing over my head. And I low-key think that's why I traveled so much last year, because it was almost like an escape. So I didn't have to be in that apartment. I could just leave. But I just had to be honest with myself. And I spent a lot of time alone during this period to really get clear with myself what I needed and what was actually happening in my life. So that's a big piece of advice I have for you, is that if you don't really know what's next, or you know something needs to change and you don't really know what, spend some time alone. Because I only came to this decision from spending alone time. And I actually came to this decision really fast. I used to be someone who used to be super indecisive and could never make up her mind on any decision. Like my decision of moving to LA was agonizing. I had to ask everyone and their mother what they thought I should do. This one I came to by myself in a week's worth of time, because I spent time alone and I spent time listening to my intuition. I decided in that week, it was like the first week of January, I was like, that's it. I'm leaving. I'm gonna get out of this lease. I'm gonna talk to my roommate. And if I'm gonna get out of this lease, there's no rush per se for me to sign a new lease in Los Angeles. I feel very grateful, very fortunate that I can work anywhere in the world. Not like I have a boyfriend holding me down. Dating in Los Angeles can be a whole other topic. I feel like I've been through quite the journey through that. So we might have to spill some tea about dating in LA now that I'm like removed from it. But I was like, you know, I'm 26. I'm still young. I'm still single. I have no kids. I have nothing really holding me to anything. F it. Like, let's just go. Let's just see where life is going to take me. And I've low-key been feeling this for a long time, where I'm just like, I want freedom and I want to see exploring different places and see potentially living in different places. So anyways, I'm heading to a new location this weekend. I'm excited to bring you along. I'm heading there for a month, and that location is Miami. I am so excited to be in Miami. I don't know what it is about Miami that's calling me there, by the way. I just am feeling really called to going to Miami. I do love it there. I love the beach, I love the energy, I love the weather, how much there is to do there, and just the fun and the energy there. So maybe I'm just craving some more like energy and fun in some ways, because I do feel like LA got a little boring. I'm not gonna lie. I still love LA. This is not, by the way, like a trash LA video. Because here's the thing, I moved to LA 3 years ago and fell in love with it. In those 3 years, it wasn't like LA really changed. I changed, right? It's not like these cities are like really changing. I still think LA is an amazing city. I love it there. I still love it. It's just I've changed. I've grown. I've evolved. I've changed. I've done so much that maybe LA isn't the city for me at this chapter of my life. Maybe I just need something different, something new. I need to experience new things. I need to meet new people. I don't know what it is, but my intuition called me up, knock, knock. She's like, come on, baby girl, we got to do something new. We got to get you outside your comfort zone. And I'm like, no, it's so good here though. Like, cause if anyone looking from the outside looking in, you'd be like, Rebecca, you're crazy. Why are you moving? Like, you have a perfect life. You live in Los Angeles. You have a nice apartment, comfortable apartment with your best friend. You have great friends there. You have community. You love it there, your sister's there, like things are good. Things are good, but here's the thing. Things were just good. They were just fine. They weren't great. They weren't fantastic. They weren't really allowing for my greatest evolution, my greatest growth right now. And so I have no idea what's gonna come from this. I might go back to LA. It's a very big possibility. I literally just packed up all my shit in a 5x10 storage unit, and I could come back in a few months to LA and being like, hey, I really miss it. Time to get my own place. Or I could experience a few other different cities, places, and just decide to fully make a move. I have no idea. That's the beauty of this transition and this adventure, is that I'm like, well, I got nothing to lose. LA will always be there. If I miss it, I'll go back. If I don't, great. Then that means I experienced something else. But I just knew that my soul, my intuition was pulling me towards something new and telling me that I had to leave LA, at least for this period of time. I don't really know why that is. Hopefully we'll find out. Maybe my husband's waiting for me in a different city to come visit, and then we can meet there. Who knows? That's like my Delulu self, but that's what they're telling me. I'm like, okay, maybe my man's just not in LA. Maybe that's why I have to go somewhere else. Jokes aside, I am just excited for our next chapter. So I'm spending the next month in Miami. We'll see how I think about it. I might love it. I might hate it. I might want to stay longer. I might say, get me the hell out of here. I don't know. I will keep you posted, but I think Miami is a cool city too. And I'm really excited to see what Miami has to offer. The wellness scene is growing there, and I want to just meet a bunch of new people. So here we freaking go. I hope you take this as your sign to feel that fear and do it anyways, baby girl. Because let me tell you, when your soul, when your intuition is knocking on the door, you have to pick up. Obviously, be safe, whatever you're scared of doing, like, you know, do it being safe. But I will say the best things in my life have always been on the other side of fear. And I think that's why it was so much easier for me to make this decision this time around, because I almost have like proof and evidence from previous points in my life to be like, oh, it all turned out great. You know what? It all even turned out better than I could have ever even imagined, but I wouldn't have experienced that thing if I didn't first take the leap of faith, if I didn't break up with my shitty boyfriend, if I didn't leave and move to Los Angeles, if I didn't quit my corporate job to pursue my passions. Like, everything has always been on the other side of fear. You just kind of have to take the leap of faith to do it. So I'm not going to get too much into that on this video, because I did just post a podcast episode. I'll link it in the show notes or the description of this YouTube video, the Within You podcast, episode 110, that talks all about feeling the fear and doing it anyways, tips to do so, how to get your subconscious mind and your body more on board, because our brain prioritizes being safe and comfortable than happiness. So just good things to remember and to listen to if you are going through something that you know you need to make a change, but you're too scared to do so. And I really hope that I can be living proof of that for you. My DMs are always open on Instagram if you have something that you want to talk through. I'm here to help, but let me be an example, because I am showing up real time. I have no idea what's to come, but all I know is that I'm gonna follow my intuition, and my intuition has never led me in the wrong direction. So I'm excited to bring you along this next chapter, and I have a few questions that I got on my Instagram story that I asked you guys to let me know if you have any questions. So let's answer those, and then we'll close out this video. Question number 1, what did you do with your car? Okay, good question, because I did have a car in Los Angeles, and you know what happened? I got into a car accident a month before I moved. In January, I got rear-ended out of nowhere. I was sitting at a red light, and out of nowhere, this guy comes in, boom, full force into my car. He was on his phone, he admitted it, and came in crashing in my car, full speed. My car slammed in. My neck is still messed up from it. So my car is still in the body shop, but it's looking like it's gonna get totaled, which means I'm just gonna get the money from his insurance for the car, which honestly could have been the biggest blessing in disguise, so that I don't have to worry about where I'm gonna put my car in LA. Things will always come around to be a blessing in disguise. It's really crazy how things are always working out for you. Even the shittiest things. Like when this happened, I was distraught by this happening. Are you gonna be in cities in the US or internationally? Good question, and I think it's gonna be a mix of both. Because you know me, I love to travel. And I want to take time to spend like extended periods of time in cities. Like for example, Miami I'm doing for a month to see if I could see myself living there. So it's not like just going for a weekend or something. I want to see what it would be actually be like, because I'm subletting someone's apartment. But internationally, I think would be probably more for just like travel, unless I decide to stay somewhere long term. I have no plans. How to overcome intimidation and fear of some big transition in life. Okay, good question, Caitlin. I will have to say that the fear and the intimidation is gonna be there. It's not like you can just magically wave a wand and the fear goes away. The fear will be there, but how you respond to the fear and how you react to it and the decisions you make to it is going to be telling for what happens in your life. So you can't really necessarily control fear coming up. Fear is super normal, it's a human emotion. But you can control how you respond to it. And so what's helped me is grounding myself in certain mantras, reminders, practices that allows me to hear the fear and not listen to it. I hear you, I see you, but I'm not going to listen and let you stop me from doing what it is ultimately that I feel like I need to do next. And I've started to get better at actually hearing my intuition. So once you start tapping into your intuition more, I have podcast episodes on this too, you start to not necessarily like let fear and these doubts stop you, because you know that's just normal human emotions. The ego is just gonna try to come up with certain things to keep you safe, but your intuition, your soul, your higher self is always gonna lead you in the right direction, and that right direction is probably gonna be the more scary direction because you've never been there. And that's a part of being a human, right? If you're not growing, you're dying. We have to grow. So those are reminders that I tell myself, but also listen to my latest podcast episode for more on this topic. How will you balance eating well and working out while changing around so much? Good question. So I feel like when you just make wellness and a healthy lifestyle your habits in your lifestyle, you always find a way to make it work. Like whether that's just going for long walks every day or, you know, dedicating to eating more at home, especially since I'm subletting, I'm gonna have a full kitchen. That makes it easier. But you just find ways to make it work. And if I am traveling at all in places where I don't have a kitchen and I can't make it work, I also don't really stress out about it too much, because I know that this is just a season of life and I don't need every season of life to be intensely working out and eating well every single day. That's not the season of life I'm in right now. I'm in a like flowy season, and that's priority. But my health and wellness, it's just a normal part of my day-to-day. I don't really even have to like think about it too much because I always want to feel good. So I'm always just gonna do the things that make me feel my best. Someone requested wellness activities in the area you're traveling to, workouts, matcha spots, food, etc. Oh girl, you already know I'm gonna be sharing all the recs to every spot and destination that I hit. So with that, I think we're done with this video. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next, anything you want to see from Miami, any thoughts, things that you just want to hear about. I'm happy to share any thoughts inside my brain with you. I'm so grateful you're here and on this next chapter and journey with me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Mwah.